It's been a while since I've made a travel video, but I've really been in a hurry on this trip, so I really haven't had time. There was some things out here in Arizona that I wanted to attend, and I was late for some personal reasons leaving, so I was in a real hurry to get out here. So I drove out here. I think I drove pretty hard, like 8 hours a day to get out here. So I got out here in just a few days, whereas normally when I travel like 3 or 4 hours a day. So didn't make any videos because it would just been me being grumpy because I had to drive too much. So anyway, but I'm out here in Quartzsite, Arizona. I'm here for a few more days, and I came out here to see a couple of different things I just want to tell you about really briefly, in case you're wondering why I raced out to Arizona. But in January in Quartzsite, they have two main things that are of interest to people who like to travel. And one is they have like a big tent show where they have a lot of vendors. It's actually a big tent RV show, but they have a lot more than RV stuff out there. They have other recreational stuff like information about four-wheelers, Sea-Doos, of course a lot of stuff about RVs, a lot of stuff about just living in RVs, like you might have special coating frying pans or whatever, but they have an assortment of stuff. It's a really big tent. And then they have on the other side of that more tents with all kinds of specialized vendors that sell things like custom glass, or just the different crafts and that kind of thing. So I went yesterday, and I posted actually some videos on Facebook, or mostly pictures, but a few videos on Facebook. And that was really fun. I was so glad. I mean, that was like, I was glad I came just for that, because it felt like the fair, and they had like food from different vendors and ice cream and so on. So that was the one thing. And then the second thing was something called an RTR, and that's something I have every year in Quartzsite, Arizona. And it's basically like presentations and panels and seminars about things related to people who travel a lot or either full-time. So for example, the one I went to today, they talked about work camping. They had four different representatives come and talk about it. Like, for example, they had one person that came from an amusement park in Iowa, of all places, and they have about 400 work campers there. And you get this, of course you get to stay there on site, the campground on site, free of charge. They pay $8.50 an hour, which is not very much, but you have Monday through Friday free access to the park, and also they have a water park, and there are like 400 other RV work campers there, so it's a good sense of community. And they have I think they have a pool, and they have laundry facilities close by. So it really, if you want to spend a season somewhere and you don't have anything else to do, it might actually be a pretty good choice. So that was one of them. And I think the other one they had was somebody who was showing how you could make money doing it was actually courtroom transcription. And then they had another person on there that was, they have a website where you can look up, different jobs you can do remotely. So really interesting, glad I went. But I think they've got like one more tomorrow, and I might go to some of those, but I gotta really look closely and see, what's really being offered. So that's the reason I came out to Quartzsite, Arizona, and I'm in a group of people, so we're all camped out together in public land. It doesn't cost anything, and I think there are about, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 other people camping out there. So we do things together. We've been doing like a campfire almost every night. There's one guy that has a movie projector, so he's able to on some nights project a movie onto the side of his truck. He has like a moving truck or something, kind of a flat surface, blank surface. And just different things. We had a weenie roast last night, and so actually having a good time with these people. Anyway, I stopped by the road. As you can see behind me, there is a little railway pass here. I forget what they call that. But I was kind of waiting for a train because, you know, if you've seen any of my videos, I love trains. I've always loved them since I was little. And I always like to photograph them, and I like the smell of the wood. I'm sure you have smelled that before. And I like trains in general. So I brought my drone out here, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna wait for this train to come, and I'm gonna fly the drone above it and see if I can get a good viewpoint. But the whole time I've been out here, not one single train has gone by, and the sun's gonna be setting soon, so it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to do that today. But I might come out here late at night and do some night shots. Sometimes I like to do that. If any trains would please come by. But I don't have any kind of a train schedule. A lot of you already know train schedules are confidential. They don't usually publish train schedules because they're afraid of people who might want to hop on the train and get a free ride somewhere, and that represents a little bit of a hazard for the company, so they try to avoid posting schedules about trains. And also, you know, just for security reasons, they don't want any terrorist attacks to happen, you know, on one of their trains and that kind of stuff. So you're just taking a guess, unless you live somewhere, as to when the train will be coming by. So last thing, I want to show you some footage I took today using the drone, and basically just want to show you, I'll start off with a footage of my drone hovering over the train track and then just taking off. And I'll just show you some other footage, just so you can see what the landscape looks like. I think there'll be a little bit more to see once I get to Lake Havasu City. But I thought it'd be fun to at least share some of the drone footage. I love just staring at the landscape and kind of gaining a new perspective. All right, so that's it for now.